it's Aginx and I'm back with another video for you guys. For today's video, I'm going to be telling you guys how I came out as a furry to my parents. Now, this won't really be a long video because it's not really much of an exciting story to tell. However, I know a few of you guys wanted to see what my experience was like, so here I am telling you guys about it. So this probably happened about 4 months ago. I'm still trying to get a handle on 4 fingers. And it really starts with me going to my first ever fur meet. Now, I use quotations because the first ever meet I went to was, it's going to be kind of a stereotype, the Zootopia screening that my state group had. And at this meet, it was maybe a few years ago, and I think I was about 15, so I was still just kind of in the corner pretending to be on my phone the entire time because I knew absolutely no one, so it was kind of a bad experience to have, but at the end of the day, I saw Zootopia, so I don't have any complaints. But if we step away from this, now the first Furball I went to was probably whoops. The first ever Furball I went to, I believe, was my state's 73rd Furball meet, and they have them about once every month, so obviously this has been going on for about 4 years, if my math is right. Math isn't my strong suit. So I originally told my parents, oh, there's actually a big school event at this bowling lane that I'm going to, which was kind of a complete lie. Usually I never lie to my parents, but me, I'm a big boy, I'm mature, I can handle myself, so I kind of just went out on a limb and said that. So at my school event, I go, and once again, kind of like my first meet, I was kind of shy, didn't really know anyone, of course, because it's my first time going, and I was just kind of awkwardly in the corner being, you know, that guy. So after awkwardly mingling, listening to conversations for maybe a good hour and a half, one of the admins comes up to me, starts making conversation with me, and I start actually having a good time now. So already like 5 minutes into our conversation, I mean, they've already made my night. I mean, Katie, if you're watching this, you have no idea how much it means to me that you actually went up to me to start a conversation all those months ago. So really, thank you. So once I get friendly with one of the admins, they start introducing me to all their friends. And if you look at my Instagram feed, you can see all the pictures I took that night, which were me wearing my first fursuit head, and all the different pictures I took of everyone else, because, I mean, why not? It's my first Furball. Of course I'm going to take tons of pictures. So finally I got to start talking to everyone, you know, I'm here finally, wait, that makes no sense. So now I'm here actually talking to people, which I've been wanting to do for the past few years that I've been in the fandom. So I started actually getting friendly with everyone. They're super cool, inviting me into their little group of like friends that they have, and now I actually have friends now in the group after they started talking to me. So the night goes on, we're all having fun, we're all taking pictures, you know, just having a good time. And at this point in time, my parents dropped me off. Maybe about 9 o'clock at night, I finally leave after being there for 3 hours. And that was, yep, I got it that time. See, that was 3. So they finally picked me up like, oh, how was the fundraiser? I was like, oh, what fundraiser? Oh, wait a second. Yeah, the fundraiser went really good, yada yada, started making up some details. But then I told them, well, actually, I barely even hung out with my school group at all. So at first they got concerned, like, oh, what's happening? Are you okay? Were you being bullied or something? And I just kind of laughed at that. I was like, no, don't worry, I had a great time. However, it was with some people that kind of weird, but you'll see in a second why. They were like, oh boy, this is going to be a good story. So I pull up my phone, so I start showing them all the pictures of the fursuits I took that night. My mom immediately fell in love with it. She was completely enthralled with all these, you know, funky animal costumes. My dad was driving, so he didn't really have the most like info that he could get compared to my mom, who was just sitting in the passenger seat. So I show them this, and, you know, just talking about my night. They're happy I had a good time, even if it was with people that I didn't even know. And, you know, the night continues, say goodnight, whatever, and, you know, that was that. Now, next month comes. I start telling them that, hey, I was able to get a few numbers from my friends that I met last month at the bowling meet, and they're inviting me to this group. Again, kind of a lie, but they're kind of strict, kind of not. So my parents let me go out with all these pretty much adult strangers, which I was really surprised about. Now, like I was saying before, I'm very, very lucky for the parents I have. I mean, last year I went to Australia by myself for a sports tournament. There was pretty much no parental guidance, so it was just pretty much me planning my entire trip across the globe by myself without my parents. First time they ever let me be really by myself. I couldn't even go into a Walmart before. So yeah, I could pretty much make that an entire separate video in itself, but to cut it short, I was able to go to Australia by myself, and Hawaii, which is the greatest summer I ever had. And this kind of gives you a background of how much like free reign I have with my parents. So, as I was saying, the next month goes by and I start telling them like, hey, they invited me, blah, 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 can I go? And they were completely okay with it somehow. I was really surprised by that. And they didn't really ask too much questions. They let me take the car. So again, have a great time, come home, and they're like, oh, how was it? I was like, great. Oh yeah, so I think I may be one of them now. They're like, oh, one of them? I was like, oh yeah, so I might be a furry. They're like, oh, okay. It's kind of weird, but you could be doing a lot worse things. So, I don't know, they honestly didn't really mind it. They more liked it than anything, that I wasn't, you know, like smoking pot or doing drugs, and instead I'm hanging out with full-grown adults in animal costumes. Yeah, that shows how my life's going. So again, taking more pictures. They love pretty much every moment of how much fun I'm having. I mean, the great parents, what else can I say? So yeah, I know the story wasn't really like sad, depressing, didn't have big dramatic moments, but I wanted to share a little piece of me to you guys, that there are good scenarios where you can come out as a furry, gay, anything, and your parents will be okay with it. I don't want to make this a big dramatic thing, but really never be afraid to be who you are, and if people can accept it, well, maybe you should start thinking that, are they the people that I want to associate with? They're not worth your time. Life is too short to be anything but happy and you. There's no point in trying to be anything you're not. On that note, thank you guys for making it this far. I have a few extra lighting sections rigged up, so I hope this video looks a little bit more good than my others. If you guys want to see more, feel free to like, comment, subscribe. I'm almost to 50 subscribers, so expect a nice little video once we get there. Really, I never thought I'd be having as much attention as I'm getting from you guys. Love every single one of you. Mwah. On that note, I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.
Tell me pretty lies, look me in the face. Tell me that you love me, even if it's fake.